Hey there, this is Kara Jane with Ice Cream for Buttercream, and today we're making a Ruffled Rose Gumpaste Fantasy Flower. Now this one is a little different than the large Gumpaste rose that I also have on my YouTube channel, and I will put a link to that in the description below if you want to check that out as well. But this one is not based on a specific type of rose, it's just something that I kind of made up, and so that's why I'm calling it a fantasy flower. But it does resemble a rose. It's just got a couple little frilly ruffles with it that I think really makes it unique. And this one is done a little different than the standard Gumpaste rose. We're using actually circle cutters instead of petal cutters, and we're going to use the frilled circle cutters, sort of like it has the frilled edges like a biscuit cutter would have, and so you want to get yourself a 6-piece set of those frilled circle cutters. Okay, so let's get on to the tutorial. So like I said earlier, you're going to need yourself a 6-piece fluted or frilled circle cutter set. You're going to need a cornstarch shaker, a small fondant roller, and a 1.5-inch styrofoam ball with 18 gauge wires that are attached to it. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. You're going to need some gum paste, and I've colored mine blue, a fondant ball tool, a brush, and a mini pizza cutter. You're also going to need a foam board, and you're going to need 2 rounded bowls. Okay, to make the base of the flower, you want to attach 2 18 gauge wires, just some thick wires. You want to attach them together with some floral tape, and then you want to hot glue them into your styrofoam ball, and I'm just using a styrofoam ball about a 1.5-inch size. Alright, we're just rolling out some gum paste, and you want to roll it really thin. And I'm using the smallest cutter in the circle cutter set, and we're just going to cut out 1 circle. We're going to brush off the excess cornstarch, and we're going to thin and ruffle the edges with the ball tool. You're going to add some water, and you're going to attach it to the top of your styrofoam ball. Just make sure that the very top is sticking up high up over the styrofoam ball. And then you'll just set it to the side while you make your other petals. Okay, so we're going to roll out some more gum paste. Just remember to roll it out really thin. And we're going to take the next size up cutter, which is the second size, and we're going to cut out 3 circles. We are going to thin the edges just like we did the first one, and hold your ball tool like a pencil and kind of go back and forth, which will really frill the edges for you. I'm just going to add some water, and I just add water a little bit halfway up. Make sure that when you are attaching your petals that the top of your petals are a little bit higher than your cone. And you want to kind of frill them out a little bit when you attach them. And just go ahead and attach the other 2 petals around the cone. And then you can set it aside while you make the other petals. And we're just rolling out some more gum paste. And we're going to use the 3rd size out of the petal cutter set, and we're going to cut out 3 more. And we're just thinning and ruffling the edges. We're just going to add some water, and we're going to attach them to the rose, and just make sure again that you're attaching these petals. The top of the petals need to be the same height as the row before it or slightly higher. And you just want to adjust and ruffle the very top edge. and set it aside while you work on the other petals. Okay, rolling more gum paste. And now we're using the 4th size up and we're cutting out 3 circles. Just thin and ruffle the edges like we've done all the other petals. And now what I'm doing is I'm cutting a V into the petals. We're going to make them into the actual shape of a petal. You want to add cornstarch to your rounded bowl and set your petals inside. Just let them cup the shape of the bowl and then set them aside for 20 minutes because you want them a bit firm. Once they're firm, you want to add some water and we're going to add them to our rose. And it helps a little bit to attach them when your flower is upside down at this point. And just brush off any extra cornstarch you have. Adjust the petals a bit, and then you want to bend the wire and hang it over some kind of wire rack because you want it to dry upside down so that the petals don't fall back on you. Okay, we're going to go on another round of petals. So we're rolling more gum paste. And we're using the 5th size up in the circle cutters and we're cutting 3 circles out. We are going to thin and ruffle these the same as the others. Just remember to kind of go back and forth with your ball tool. That helps to ruffle it up. And we're going to cut these into a petal shape as well. Add some cornstarch to your bowl, and then you just want to set these in there to cup the bowl and set them aside to dry for about 20 minutes or so until they're a little bit firm. Now we're just going to add the water to the petals. And we're going to attach to our flower upside down. Just remember to brush off any excess cornstarch. And just hang it upside down while you work on the next set of petals. All right, rolling more gum paste, and we are on the last row of petals. And we're going to go down 1 size in circles. So we're actually using the 4th size up petal cutter. And we are going to cut out 5 circles this time. We're thinning and ruffling the edges again. And we're cutting these into petal shapes as well. I'm going to add cornstarch to our rounded bowls and place them in. You're probably going to need 2 bowls to do this because we have 5 petals. So just set these aside for 20 minutes so they'll firm up a bit. Once they're firm, just add some water. We're going to be adding this last row of petals to our flower. And again, I add them upside down. It's just easier to work with it that way. And you can lift up your flower to check your placement every once in a while, and then just brush off any excess cornstarch. Once you get all the petals placed, you just want to check it and make sure everything is on there really well, and pinch around the base a little bit to make sure it's all attached, and adjust any petals if you need to. You want to hang upside down to dry completely, at least overnight. Now to color the flower, I'm adding black petal dust with some blue sparkle or luster dust. And I'm just mixing the two together. I'm just going to add it all over my flower. Make sure to get the inside of the petals and the outside of the petals. And I'm just adding some color into random different areas. All right, now I'm using some burgundy. I'm just going to add the burgundy color in just random areas all over the flower. Just make sure to get some on the inside of the petals and then some on the outside of the petals. And last, I'm going to add a bit of gold. And I'm using the gold luster dust, and I'm just placing it in random areas like I did the burgundy. Just make sure to get some on the inside petals and some on the outside. And then to really set in your dust, you want to kind of twirl it in front of a steamer if you have one available, and that really sets in the color. Okay, and there you have it, your beautiful ruffled rose Gumpaste fantasy flower. And I hope this was helpful for you. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below. I'm going to put a link to my making a large Gumpaste rose video that you might want to also check out. And then also there's going to be a link to the blog post where you can actually print out a free quick reference guide to making this ruffled rose. Okay, I'll see you next time.